We already have done the coalition before the elections, and the pre-election coalition that we've done with the list of Madam President Vjosa Osmani rendered these early elections into people's referendum, where we managed to get a landslide victory. Consequently, we do not see any other party from the old guard, or ancien régime as we like to call them, as future partners in our government. Therefore, if with 50% of votes we fall short of 61 MPs because of the 20 reserved seats for the minorities, then we plan to take MPs from non-Serb minorities and perhaps few MPs from the opposition who simply would like to represent the people that they voted for them rather than the parties that they belong to. I'm certain that our government will have the majority without need to enter into any kind of negotiations with those which have been defeated by our joint list. In spite of the region, age, or nationality, in Kosovo people agree that two most burning issues are jobs and justice. Therefore, we plan to have labor-intensive investments in order to increase employment, especially among youth and women. And on the other hand, we plan to fight corruption and crime and bring rule of law and get a development bank to lower interest rates and to increase grace periods. So we have more investments, more employment, more production, more export, less import, and in this way get out of this multiple crisis into the railway of socioeconomic progress. Therefore, we ran and won on a ticket of two J's, jobs and justice. These are the days when we are celebrating 13th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And we noticed that in every poll, in every survey of public opinion, local or international, dialogue with Serbia is priority number 6 or 7. We are going to make a concession and render it priority number 4 after jobs, justice, and pandemic COVID-19. We will open a new chapter with Serbia by having honest and sincere dialogue based on reciprocity and equality, and where we are going to both check out the previous agreements, some of them being implemented partially, some of them fully, some of them not at all, in 6 years dialogue in Brussels, where Belgrade says that we have 47 agreements and we insist that we have 33 agreements. However, it's not going to be easy, but I hope that we are going to come up with a new dialogue under the auspices of Brussels and with the help of United States. We want to have a former transactional approach of former President Trump transformed into transatlantic one, bearing in mind that normalization of relations between Kosovo and Serbia must normalize Serbia and likewise Kosovo. We need development. Serbia needs to face its own past. They started 4 wars in former Yugoslavia and needs to democratize. I believe that normalization of relations between Kosovo and Serbia should not be at the expense of normalization of these units, namely Serbia and Kosovo. Integration of Kosovo into European Union is a process which is going quite slowly because on one hand, we still don't have visa liberalization, even though we fulfilled all the criteria. On the other hand, we have 5 non-recognizers: Spain, Slovakia, Romania, Greece, and Cyprus. I plan to work with these countries to convince them that they should not fear independence of Kosovo being recognized by them, and they should not compare themselves with Serbia, who committed genocide in spring 1999 in Kosovo. Integration of Kosovo into EU is something that all people of Kosovo want, but I also know that we are not going to go into EU, but from ourselves and within ourselves, we are going to build EU values and standards. Western Balkan 6, still unintegrated into EU, is not simply a neighbor of EU, since we are surrounded by EU, and all these 6 countries should be included as soon as possible. Balkans and EU are very important for each other. Bulgaria is a close ally, and we believe that we can learn a lot from Bulgaria when it comes to European integration. Our government will apply for candidate status, and I hope to work closely with Bulgaria, both when it comes to European integration, but likewise when it comes to our bilateral relations, because I think that in terms of economic cooperation and cultural one, we can share and exchange much more than we do. We belong to Southeast Europe, we have common history, and I also believe we share common goals and interests.